Hi and hello guys! Welcome to our new episode of our lesson for Science 5. So we are now at quarter 3 and this lesson will be your topic for week 1 and we're going to talk about contact forces. Okay, so to start off, let's have a quick view of our learning competency. So the learners carry out simple investigations to demonstrate that contact forces cause objects to move in the same direction as the direction that the force is applied. Okay, and for your lesson objectives, we have 4 objectives that we need to meet after our week's lesson. Okay, so for day 1, let's have a short review. Okay, I want you to guess the word. So based on the picture, okay, what do you think is the word? Okay, so for picture 1, okay, we can see a boy who is wiping the table. Okay, and for picture 2, 2 arrows, okay, that meet. Okay, what do you think is the word? And we also have some clues. Okay, so next picture we have, okay, children who are playing tag of war. Okay, and what do they do? Okay, for example, kayo naglalaro ng tag of war. Ano ba yung pinaka-goal ninyo? And ano ba yung ginagawa ninyo para manalo sa tag of war? And of course, we have our picture 4. I think this one is very familiar to you. Okay, so we have our answers. So for number 1, it's pushing. Number 2 is force. Number 3 is pulling. And number 4 is magnets. Okay, so these words, okay, are the words that we are going to talk about. Okay, so ito yung mga salita na may encounter natin as we go along our week's lesson. Okay, so in grade 4, science, students learned or you learned that force is a push or pull that affects an object's movement and shape. Now, they will delve deeper into the study of forces and explore different types of forces. So, what force do you think is the most important force in your daily life and why? And how do you think contact forces play a role in everyday activities like pushing a door open or pulling a suitcase? So, I think friction is the most important force in our daily lives because it helps us walk without slipping. Or, kumbaga, tinutulungan niya tayong maglakad na hindi tayo nadudulas. Hold objects without them falling. Nahawakan natin yung mga bagay na hindi ito nalalaglag. And stop when I want to. Nakakatigil tayo kapag gusto nating huminto. Without friction, everything would slide around. Okay, so na-imagine nyo ba kapag yung mga tsinelas natin or yung paa natin ay hindi kumakapit sa sahig? So ang sabi niya, ang lahat ng bagay ay magsaslide lang. No? Magpapagulong-gulong tayo lahat. So contact forces help us move or stop objects, or contact forces help move or stop objects by touching them. When we push a door, we apply an applied force that makes it open. When we pull a suitcase, we use another kind of contact force to make it move along with us. These forces only work because our hands or body are in contact with the objects. Okay, so now let's unlock our content vocabulary. So what do we mean by this? So we have here some jumbled words. Okay, you're going to unjumble. Okay, aayusin natin. You're going to arrange the letters so that we can find the correct word, okay, that is being defined in the slide. So two objects are touching each other. Okay, that is contact. Okay, so it means when two objects are touching each other. Now, next, when lines are parallel, they run alongside each other without crossing or intersecting. So, patuloy-tuloy lang yung kanyang linya. Wherein, hindi nag-cross or nagkakaroon ng intersection doon sa kanyang mga linya. So, we call that parallel lines, diba? But for this topic, we just have it as parallel. Okay, next. Feeling stressed or nervous. It refers to the force exerted by a string, cable, rope, or any other flexible object that is being pulled or stretched. Okay, so halimbawa yung goma, no, kapag binanat natin. Okay, ito yung force na nararamdaman nila, no, kapag kahit anong flexible object na pag hinila natin or in-stretch, ito yung nararamdaman or yung nakikita nating force sa kanila. So that is tension. Okay. So stressed or nervous, it refers to the force exerted by a strain. A cable, rope, or any other flexible object that is being pulled or stretched. Now, when lines are perpendicular, okay, they cross or intersect each other. Kapag hindi nag-cross or intersect, we call that parallel. Pero kapag nag-intersect or nag-cross sila, we call that perpendicular. Okay. So next, we have a common or not extraordinary. In math, normal is a line that is perpendicular to another line. So definitely that is normal. Now let's have our subtopic 1. Okay, we are going to give the definition of contact force. So what is contact force? So kanina pa natin yun binabanggit paulit-ulit, hindi ba? Contact force or contact forces happen when two things touch each other. When you push, pull, or hold something, that's a contact force because your hand is touching it. So kapag tayo ay nagtulak, diba? Nagtulak ng isang bagay, humila ng isang bagay, o tayo ay may bitbit o may hawak ng isang bagay, yun na yung tinatawag nating contact force kasi yung ating kamay ay nag-touch or lumapat dito. So contact forces makes objects move, stop, or change direction through direct contact. So yung halimbawa, yung nakatigil lang na pinto, hindi ba? Hindi naman gumagalaw usually yung mga pinto natin. Mag-move siya to another direction kapag nagkaroon ng contact yung ating kamay. Minsan, sinisiko natin para magbukas yung pinto. Minsan, ginagamit naman ang braso. Minsan, yung likod. Nagkakaroon ng contact yon sa door. That's why nagkakaroon ng bagong direction. So, or direct contact. So, we call that contact force. So, contact force, what are the examples? So, what are some examples of contact forces in our daily lives? So, letter A, pushing a door. When you push a door to open or close it, contact forces come into play between your hand and the door. Okay, we also have writing with a pen. Kapag tayo ay nagsusulat, the contact force between the pen tip and the paper enables you to write and create marks. Diba? Hindi dumudulas yung papel doon sa ating ballpen or doon sa inyong panulat. So, yung contact between yung ballpen mo and yung papel, no, you are able to write your name, write something. So, we call that contact force. Yung contact between the tip of the pen and the paper. Okay, and we also have another example, playing with a ball. Bouncing a ball involves contact forces between your hand and the ball, which influence its motion. Okay, so pwedeng kapag naglalaro ng basketball, volleyball, but for our picture, yung ginamit naman yung contact is yung kanyang paa. So parang nag-soccer siya. Okay. So as what we are seeing in the picture, so the girl is playing a soccer. Okay, so the contact is between her foot and the soccer ball. Okay, pwede rin naman kapag hinawakan niya yung bola, so yung contact force is between the ball and the hand of the girl. Okay, so we have another word example. So you can watch and access the video on YouTube using the link or QR code provided below. So still, you can watch this one for additional information about contact force. Okay, so this time complete the mind map below in order to come up with the definition of contact force. In the mind map, you must write at least 3 keywords related to contact force. Afterwards, you need to answer the following question. So this is the sample of mind map. Okay, so contact force at the center, and then you're going to describe it. Okay, can you describe it based on the video that you have just watched or based on the definition that we already gave and the examples given a while ago? So, 2 objects are involved, interaction, they are touching each other. So, those are just some of the answers that you can give, and I know makakapagbigay pa kayo ng mas marami pang definitions and words that would come to your mind about contact force. So, we have are 2 process questions. Okay, so what is contact force? A contact force results from the interaction of 2 objects that are touching each other. So give 3 examples of contact forces involved in your task or activities at school. So ano-ano ba yung mga halimbawa ng contact forces na sa tingin ninyo, no? Or nararanasan ninyo, yung mismong ginagawa ninyo na kung saan involved ito sa inyong mga ginagawa sa school. So example natin kanina, writing, 'di ba? When you're writing your using your pen and you're writing on your paper. Ano pa? When you write on the board, the chalk, okay? Yung chalk and yung contact ng chalk and the board itself. Okay. So another example, kapag nagwawalis naman kayo, yung contact force between your hand and the broom and the floor. Okay, contact force between the shoes, your school shoes, and the floor. Okay, so those are some of the examples at marami pa because you do a lot of things at school. So another activity, exploring contact forces. So example dito, and then we have our drawing and illustration. So shooting a paper trash into the bin, holding a book. So ito yung mga examples natin. So aside from the things that I've already said a while ago, so these are other examples, okay, of contact forces that involves your activities at school. So kapag nagtatapon ka daw ng papel sa inyong basurahan, kapag humahawa ka ng libro, and at the same time kapag nagtutupi ka ng papel o kaya nagtuturn ng page ng isang book. Alright, so for day 2, we are going to have our subtopic 2, okay, and it is all about types of contact force. Okay, so what are the types of contact forces? So there are different types of contact forces that happen when objects touch, such as pushing, pulling, rubbing, supporting, or stretching. Okay, so we have the applied force, a contact force that is applied to an object by a person or another object. So example, the man applied enough forward force on a shopping cart that causes it to move forward. So kapag tayo daw ay nag-grocery, no, kasama yung ating nanay, kapag nag-grocery tayo sa isang grocery store, kapag gumagamit tayo ng cart, kapag hinawakan natin ng cart at yung direction ay pa-forward, so susunod din yung cart, no, going to having a forward motion as well. Okay, another type of contact forces is normal or support force. A contact force exerted by a surface perpendicular to an object resting on it to support its weight. Okay, an example, or it is also called the support force. The term normal indicates that the force is always at a right angle to the contact surface, regardless of the surface angle. So, para mas madali nating maintindihan, we have here an example. A chair exerts an upward normal force to support the child's weight. Okay, so normal force upward and yung weight natin is downward. So, yung force na yon, yung normal force, yun yung sumusuporta sa weight ng child na nakaupo sa isang upuan. Okay, so tension, it's a contact force that results when an object like a rope or a string is pulled in opposite directions by two forces. Tension force is the pulling force that an extended rope or cord or any similar material applies to the object to which it is attached. So example, the wire attached to the lamp has tension that supports its weight. So, yung mga ilaw natin, yung mga chandelier natin, hindi ba? Yung tension ay nandoon sa rope or yung pinaka parang nag-hold sa mga bumbilya. So, kung saan yun yung sumusuporta sa bigat ng ilaw. Diba? Halimbawa, yung chandelier, marami siyang mga kristal, marami siyang mga ilaw. So, yung pinaka hindi kasi naman rope ang gamit sa chandelier, di ba? Yung pinaka-metal na nag-hold sa buong chandelier at sumusuporta dun sa kanyang bigat, yun nandoon yung tension force. Okay? So, ang kanyang layunin ay panatilihin na, kumbaga, i-maintain na para hindi bumagsak, no, yung ilaw or yung chandelier. So, yung tension going up, upward, while yung weight is going down. So, friction, a contact force that acts opposite to the direction of sliding and is parallel to the surface. This force occurs when two surfaces rub against each other and causes objects to slow down or stop. So, for example, the ground exerts friction on the ball, which causes it to slow down and eventually stop. Okay, so if yung direction ng motion ng ball is towards the right, yung friction is towards the left. Okay, so yung friction, yun yung magkukos sa bola na mag-slow down kasi kumbaga, 'di ba, halimbawa yung bowling, okay, ay kung halimbawa hindi siya um, hinagis, no? Yung puwersa hindi naman hinagis sa smooth surface, for example, sa medyo rough surface, mag-act yung friction doon. And eventually, yung friction will cause the ball to stop. Okay. So, another work example, it's collage making activity. So, in this activity, the class will be divided into groups. Each group will present your assigned pictures or drawings that show two objects or bodies exerting forces on each other. As you share your images, you will identify the specific type of contact force shown in each one. Afterward, you are going to paste your pictures on a bond paper to form a collage. Okay. So each image should have a label following this format: type of contact force. Object A pushes or pulls object B. For example, if a picture shows a boy pushing a door, the label should read as applied force. Boy pushes the door. Once their collage is complete, the students will fill out the table provided and answer the process questions in your notebooks. Okay. So that is the table that you need to answer. And these are the process questions that you need to answer as well. What types of contact forces do you find helpful in your everyday life and why? And why is it important for students like you to identify the different kinds of contact forces in your daily activities? Okay, so you have here your answer. So now let's go to day 3. So for day 3, okay, you're going to do more activities. Okay, so lesson activities, station, rotation, and contact forces. Okay, so in this activity, the class will be divided into 8 groups. Okay, your teacher will prepare 2 sets of stations, each set representing the 4 types of contact forces being studied. Okay, you will work together with your group members as you move from one station to another, performing the task prepared for each type of contact force. After completing the 4 stations, each student will individually fill out the table on the paper or activity sheet, recording the observations and answers based on what you have learned from each station. Okay, so station 1 is applied force. Okay, so you have here a sample. Okay, station 2, normal or support force. Station 3 is all about tension. And station 4 is all about friction. Okay, so you need to answer some process questions. Of course, we're going to provide the answers. Don't worry. Okay, so for day 4, okay, it's time for you to have your takeaways. So you have your brain dump. Okay, you're going to do a brain dump by recalling 5 or more things that you have learned this week. So you need to copy the template to provided below in your notebooks and write down 5 takeaways from your lesson this week. And for your reflection and learning, okay, you have your top 3 most important contact forces. Okay, and of course, you'll have your formative assessment. So for letter A, it's true or false. So in your paper or answer sheet or notebook, write T if the statement is true and F if it is not. For letter B, it's identification. Identify the type of contact force shown in each situation below. Choose the correct answer from the contact forces listed below. Okay. So again, this is number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. And most especially, okay, these are the correct answers. Okay, and it's a wrap. Okay, so I hope you learned a lot. Okay, and I hope you understand what contact force is. And then later on, okay, in the succeeding weeks, we're going to focus more on these types of forces, especially contact forces and non-contact forces, and a whole lot more. So thank you so much for being with me for the first week of your lesson in Science Grade 5 for Quarter 3, Week 1. So see you at Week 2. So this is Teacher Isa. Thank you so much and bye!